Good morning and welcome to Unity of Vancouver's Musical Preludes, and welcome to our Sunday gathering. Please join me in welcoming today's musicians, Leora Cash and Jay Krebs.
Good morning, everyone. So to get us started this morning, I've chosen a couple songs that I know a few of us are going to know. This is a song by the Byrds called Turn, Turn, Turn. So I invite you to sing wherever you are to bring in our beautiful sacred gathering this morning. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. And a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die. She's in the wrong key. He's playing not in Leora's key, but I'm a happy follower. Thank you. That there's jokes for music for singers, but musical directors who do not know keys, that's another one. Let's try this again. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to reap, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to laugh, a time to weep. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to build up, a time to break down, a time to dance, a time to mourn, a time to cast away stones, a time to gather stones together. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time for every purpose under heaven. A time of love, a time of hate, a time of war, a time of peace, a time you may embrace, a time to refrain from embracing. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time for everything under heaven. To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to gain, a time to lose, a time to rend, a time to sow, a time to love, a time to hate, a time for peace. I swear it's not too late. To everything turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, 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 and a time for every purpose under heaven. That brings back lots of memories, I'm sure, for lots of us this morning. This is another wonderful song from that same era, the 60s. Something's happening here. There's something happening here, but what it is, I ain't exactly clear. There's a man with a gun over there telling me I got to beware. I think it's time we stop. Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. There's battle lines being drawn, and nobody's right if everybody's wrong. Young people speaking their minds are getting so much resistance from behind. I think it's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down. What a field day for the heat. Thousands of people in the street, singing songs and carrying signs. Mostly say hooray for our side. It's time we stop. Hey, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh my goodness, it's a beautiful morning. I can tell you this morning I was watching the sunrise, and I got to talk to you about some things that happened to me when I was watching that sunrise. Whew, whew, whew. We got a great day going on here. We've got a great day. We've got some fun, and we've got some revelations. We're going to open some brand new dimensions of reality today. I'm telling you, it's going to be fantastic. Stick with us. We're going somewhere place.
Good morning. I'm Anne DeVolen, and as Bob said, today we will be exploring the possibility of world peace. Here are 3 quotes of world leaders to get our day started. Mahatma Gandhi said, "The day the power of love overrules the love of power, the world will know peace." And here is Marcus Aurelius, ruler of Rome almost 2,000 years ago, who said, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." Finally, here are the words of Mother Teresa. "If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other." Please join me and let's affirm our oneness. We are now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. And now leading us in prayer this morning is board member Mike Richards.
Thank you. So let's take a moment and take a deep breath and go to our hearts. God, we come to you today with an open heart and ask that in our partnership with you, we receive the message today from this service. God, our hearts are open and we thank you for this privilege. Amen.
Amen.
Join me and we'll sing the Aramaic Lord's Prayer. Holy Spirit, creator of life and all, you create a space inside us and fill it with your presence. Our oneness now prevails. Your one desire flows through ours as energy fills all forms. You give us this day our physical and spiritual nourishment. You untangle the knots of air that bind us as we also release each other. We don't let appearances make us forgetful of our source. We're born free to act from our highest nature. From your presence comes the glorious harmony of life. Now these words are fertile ground from which our future grows. Amen.
Come with me, if you will, and let's go into a meditation. Let's meditate. Let's find the avenue from this place and this time into timeless space and spaceless time. Here's how we do that. You just sit with your feet flat on the floor and you breathe in softly through your nose, a full breath, not a giant, but a full breath. And you pause and just let that breath settle inside of you. And when it's ready, let it go. And when you let it go, just let your whole body relax. Just become pudding. And let that breath stay out until it's time to take another breath in complete relaxation and peace. You find yourself surrounded now by a presence. It's divine. It's the presence of the universe. And it's alive. It's the presence of the creation, which is the presence of the Creator. And you, my dear, are the created and the Creator. Let yourself expand outside of your body into that presence, becoming one with it, letting yourself go, falling away into the light, breathing gently in, gently out. You feel that presence throughout your entire body. Each time you take a breath in, you're breathing in grace. You're breathing in the presence. And it goes through your lungs, into your blood vessels, and down to every cell in your body, filled with grace, healing, and blessing, and relaxing in peace. And as you can feel that presence of grace throughout your entire body, allow that to well up in you now, up into your heart. And from your heart, allow that to well up into your head. And from your head, allow that to well up above the top of your head into your higher mind. And it's in this place that we are one with the Creator, with the creation, with timeless space and spaceless time, in peace. You are one with all now, and all is one with you. There is peace inside of you as you. You know that. You know that the gentleness of soft rain and the rainbow on the hill and the swallow darting by in the sky and the moonlight on the water. And the sideways smile of a small child walking by. In her bright yellow galoshes. And all is peace. And all is well. In your home. You are loved. You are blessed. You are safe. You are free. You are safe. Your body filled with grace is completely well. Every organ, every muscle, every tendon and ligament and bone, every cell is completely well, filled with grace. Right now, filled with peace, and you are letting it be. You are love. You are joy. And you are peace. Loved, blessed, safe, free, completely well, completely well. You are love. You are joy. You are peace.
Make me a channel of your peace, and where there is hatred, let me bring your love, and where there is injury, your healing power, and where there is doubt, true faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there's despair in life, let me bring hope. much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. There is hatred, let me bring your love. Where there is injury, your healing power. And where there is doubt, true faith in you. Oh, Spirit, grant that I may never seek so much to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, and to be loved as to love with all my soul. Make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me bring your love. And where there is injury, your healing power. And where there is doubt, where there is doubt, where there's doubt, true faith in you. Make me a channel of your peace.
Yes, please, please make me a channel of your peace. St. Francis's prayer, such a beautiful and direct way of saying, I want to be the cause of peace in the world. I want to bring that about from me. You know, I said a little while ago that I was watching the sunrise this morning. An interesting thing happens for me when I look in through the trees at clouds and at sunrise. And I just want to talk to you about that just for a moment. Just, it might be pertinent to your life and it might be something that you can actually do. This morning when I looked at the sunrise, there were clouds, not a lot of clouds, but scattered clouds on several different layers. And some of them were still dark, really heavily dark. And some of them were scalded by the brightness of the rising sun. And some of them hadn't quite gotten there and they were a delicate pink. And behind that was the brilliant blue of the sky. Now, all of those are beautiful and all of those are wonderful. What really got to me, though, is the space between the clouds and the clouds in the sky. And then in the foreground, the trees, beautiful, tall fir trees standing, and still dark, still black from the darkness because the light hadn't gotten to them yet, but standing as sentinels in rows. And what got to me was looking at the space between those. Now stay with me. I know that sounds a little goofy. The space between the trees and the space between the trees and the sky and the clouds, the spaces are not empty, are they? The space between you and your computer right now, that's not empty. There's no such thing as empty space. Space is made up of grace, is made up of the presence of what people call God. I mean, they have this image of this guy in the sky, God, or whatever, fine. But the true creative power, the true creative presence, the true love of all, the great harmony, the great tapestry, the great painting that's ongoing constantly in the world, that's the presence of God. That's the presence of Holy Spirit. It's the presence of the one energy, the one mind that moves in all things, from a tiny pebble of sand to the grandest mountain, to the galaxies, to the nebulae, gorgeous nebulae out through space. All of that is the living presence of what we call God. And it's in you, and it's in me, as you and as me. We talked a little earlier about how, in the meditation, about how the energy of grace, this presence of grace, goes in through your lungs, through the alveoli, and then down into each cell. And each one of those cells is awakened by the power of God, by the power of grace within it. In all of those cells, 37 trillion of them in your body, hello? 37 trillion of them are all working in harmony, And when they get out of harmony, which is rare, but when they do get out of harmony, that's called dis-ease, disease. And the way they get out of harmony, incidentally, is because there is dis-ease going on around them that infiltrates them. That harmony that's going on with all those 37 trillion cells in your body, that harmony, that's peace. That's called peace. And we're asking today, is world peace possible? And that's an excellent question. And the answer, unfortunately, is no. Under the present circumstances, world peace is not possible. No matter how many times we sing, "Let there be peace on earth," it will not create peace on earth. That song, the peace song, we call it, that we sing every Sunday, was written in 1955. That's a long time ago. That was back during the Korean War. And it's been sung millions and millions and millions of times since then. People tell me, well, it makes me feel good. And that it makes us feel good is really nice, but it is not world peace, and it is not creating world peace. There are two types of peace. Two types of peace: internal peace and external peace. Internal peace is the peace we've been talking about here this morning. The peace that's flowing through you as grace. The peace that keeps every part of you in harmony. External peace is the expression of that out into the world to change the world and bring it into peace. Thank you. And when we sing the peace song, we feel an internal peace, and that's wonderful. But internal peace, as long as it stays internal, does nothing to create external peace in the community or in the world. The wars of the world are not so much the result of someone like Putin or Hitler doing the wrong things. They're not. Those wars are far more the result of billions and billions of people sitting on their butts and doing nothing. Those small despots, Hitler and Putin and Mussolini and the rest of those guys, they can destroy millions of lives. Think of it, one small insignificant man changing the whole world while billions sit and watch. And if those present circumstances continue, we are destined to continue having war. But that's under the current circumstances. And these are circumstances that have not changed for thousands of years. We deal with each other with war, with suspicion, and with doubt, and with competition. We got a bigger army. We've got more land. And we've got more resources. You guys are sick and we're not sick. Instead of us flowing together like all the cells in your body, flowing together with all the cells, 7.5 billion human beings on the planet, and all the animals, and all the trees and all nature. These crazy circumstances that we're in right now, those aren't law, they're not nature, they're attitudes, and attitudes can change. Do you remember Scrooge in the Christmas Carol? Do you remember that? And the three ghosts were coming and racking his brain. Do you remember what he said at the last one when he saw that was his name on the tombstone? And he saw that when they would been earlier, the sellers had been selling his bedclothes and his curtains. He said, "Are these the shadows of things that will be? Or are they the shadows of things that may be only?" And the answer, dear Scrooge, is that when we change circumstances, when we change ourselves, circumstances change with us. In the present circumstances, were created by and are being created by the communal thinking of our human family. Let's face it, maybe for thousands of years, there was not a high enough communal consciousness to end hostilities and find another way. But today is a new day. We're not living thousands of years ago. We're here today in a new day. And we are a new people with a new attitude and a new set of circumstances for our world. And yes, with that, there can be world peace. But what is peace? Here's what the thesaurus has to say about peace. Peace is friendship, love, and unity. What is friendship? And let me ask you a quick question about friendship. What is friendship without loyalty? Is there any such thing as friendship without loyalty? If I'm your friend, and then I talk about you behind your back, or if I'm your friend and you call and say, "I'm in a little bit of trouble and I need your help," and I say, "Gee, I just really can't help you right now." If I'm your friend, then that means that the cells, the spiritual cells of us are flowing together in one body. Because we are exactly one person involved in inhabiting two separate bodies. That's what's true. Every person on the planet is one being inhabiting separate incarnations. And if you and I are friends, then we flow together. We know together. We be together. We love together. Friendship, love, and unity. We talk a lot about love in this ministry, because love is the power, love is grace, love is God. There is no, "Oh, I love you," or "I don't know if I love you." Love is life. When you cut off love, you cut off life. We know that from little babies in orphanages. If they don't get loved, if they don't get held, they get sick and die. And Thesaurus says also that peace is unity. And we are unity right here. We are unity of Vancouver. And it's who we are. We are unity. We are unity. We are doing our best to pull the unity together of the world. Right here, Unity of Vancouver. We're reaching out to the entire planet and we're creating unity. We're coming together in one mind and one heart to live in friendship and love. And we're creating that in our world. And we're starting now. I personally have a vision that the human family will be living in harmony with itself and with its environment before the year 2060. That might seem like it's a long ways off, but it isn't. And we can start now, and we must start now. And I know that every person listening right now wants war to end permanently. And I know that each of you listening right now wishes you could actually make that happen. Well, today, please be assured that you can make the difference if only you're willing to expand your comfort zones to include stepping forward with your heart to others. Neither you or I can change Mr. Putin's thinking. Neither of us can stop the war in Ukraine. But we can change the circumstances of our lives and change the way we interface with our world, and that will make a difference. So now let's look at how we do it. We begin by creating peace in our own individual bodies. And then we create peace in our individual lives, which means that camped out in the vast human family, we start a small but significant fire of goodness and of caring and of kindness, a firelight that can become infectious and spread around the world. Let's start that. We learn to trust that everyone around us really wants the same thing we do. We learn that we have a power within us, a heart light that overcomes the darkness of doubt. My friend, I know that you will step up today. You will truly help bring peace to our world. I know that. I know that.
How can we have peace in the Middle East when there's none at home? And how can we have understanding in the land when there's none in the woman and there's none in the man? How can we heal the wounds of the world if we cannot heal our own? And where does this peace on earth begin if not in the home? And where do we go now? Do we let the devil win, or do we get up and fight? Surely we know how to conquer all our fear, bring an end to the violence, bring an end to the tears. How can we heal the wounds of the world if we cannot heal our own? And where does this peace on earth begin if not in the home? Well, there's too much talk about it and too many walk without it. Tell me, where is the love? Where is the God in your life? To my left, a woman abuses her children. To my right, somebody's beating his wife. Tell me, where is the love? Where is the God in your life? How can we heal the wounds of the world if we cannot heal our own? And where does this if not in the home.
We have an opportunity. We do. We have an opportunity. We can step up. We can step out. We can make this world a different place, a better place. We can. You and I can. We can actually individually do that. You know, when you go to the Webster Dictionary and you look and see what peace is, here's what it says. A pact or an agreement to end hostilities between those who have been at war. A pact or an agreement to end hostilities. That's what peace is. Webster says that's what peace is. A pact or an agreement to end hostilities between those who have been at war. So the dictionary tells us that peace is the absence of hostilities, the absence of war. But how can the absence of something be something? Answer that. How can the absence of something be a thing? Isn't the absence of a thing a vacuum? And isn't a vacuum always filled with the thing that's most available, with its the most accessible? Isn't that true? Doesn't it just suck in whatever's closest? And isn't it true that how we've learned how for thousands of years to deal with those people who are not quite like us, that look a little different, they have different religions or different governments, and the way we've learned to deal with them is to be in competition, which is Cold War, isn't it? Competition is Cold War, eventually turns into hot war. So if we end hostilities, is that peace? The absence of peace, or excuse me, the absence of war between countries is not peace. Absence is a vacuum soon to be filled by the most familiar. You know that, and I know that. So the absence of war, the absence of hostilities is not peace. And the bad news is that there's always war. The good news is that there's always absence going on, and we can stick peace in those openings if we have enough courage. And how exactly can we do that? Listen, here's how we do it. We do it with small groups. And we're right down where the rubber hits the road now. We've been talking, in a sense, kind of philosophy, but this is now how we do it. This is how we put on our guardian costume and get our lightsaber, and we march out. And here's how we actually do it. We do it with small groups coming together, thinking together, and discovering and discussing the truths about peace. Think that's a little hard to believe that you can actually do that with a small group. In 1935, a very small group of people got together and talked about how they could end the disease that had nearly killed them. It was smaller than small. It was a tiny little group. That was in 1935. Now that group, Alcoholics Anonymous, has over 2 million members. Margaret Mead, the famous, wonderful Margaret Mead said, heard people saying that small groups in a vast world cannot make a difference. And here's what she said: never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Studies have shown that small groups are the most effective at creating majority opinions, and majority opinions run the world. You know that's true? Members of small groups change the attitudes of others by a phenomenon physicists call percolation. It's that phenomenon where a small group of people infiltrate the larger group of people and put an opinion in there that becomes the majority opinion. And they just infiltrate it. It's the phenomenon started in small groups that caused tens of thousands of normal, good American citizens to attack the U.S. Capitol on January 6th. Small group. As easily as those thousands were influenced by small groups to riot, they could have easily been influenced by small groups to spread peace. But you know something? Those small groups out there that were raising hell and trying to get people mad against their government and let's go assassinate and kill and burn and pillage, those small groups that were doing that, what if there were small groups that were doing exactly the opposite, just as strongly and just as actively? Let's create peace, not a state of absence, a state of something. Let's create peace. And how would we define peace? We're going to create peace. How would we define peace? Peace is a stress-filled state of security and calmness, coexisting in perfect harmony and freedom. It's a thing. Peace is a thing. It's a state of mind. It's a state of being. It's active. It's how we deal with each other. If I take my car in to get it fixed and you say, we put in a doodle floppy and a thingamajig, but we found out that the coordination between the thingamajig and the doodle floppy is not harmony, so we got to bring your car back in next week and put those things in coalition with each other, and that's going to cost you another dollars. And when that hits me, I go, I can't afford that. That guy just made me mad. He just built a wall between us. He just told me he wants more of my money in order for my car to run. I'll go somewhere else. I'm unhappy about this. Or at this point, I can say, I want to be living in a stress-free security state of mind, a calmness that coexists in perfect harmony and freedom with this man and with my environment. That's what I want. And then I can take a breath and let it go. And I can create peace. And I can say, I know you're doing your best for me. And I got a little problem because I'm really financially strapped right now. So let's work together. Maybe we can figure out a way to make this happen. And for the first time, maybe all day, or for first time, maybe in a month, this guy's being talked to like a brother rather than a stranger, rather than someone I'm in competition with. We need to be peace warriors, guerreros de la luz, warriors of the light. Now, we're going to have small groups at Unity of Vancouver meeting regularly to bring peace alive in our community and around the world. And here's just a few ideas about what a peace wisdom circle will be discussing. They'll be discussing peace as a productive rather than hostility as a destructive. Peace as productive. In other words, we can create, we can produce instead of taking away. Peace as harmony and cooperation in decision making. From peace comes art. From peace comes music. From peace comes the inventions in clean energy, in medicine, in science, to cure cancer and arthritis and other diseases. To educate our children not only about math and science and in reading and writing, but to educate our children in science and about the science of peace, of love, of mutual cooperation and harmony in our family, and then in our community, and then in our state or our province, and then on our planet. It begins with a small group. It begins with your family. It begins with the small groups we're going to have at Unity. Come and join us. Around you right now, there's a space, and that space is alive. I mean, it's a real being. A fish swims in water its whole life, and do you know that it doesn't know what water is? Because it just takes it for granted. And you and I have been swimming in grace our whole lives, and we've not been paying attention to it. This is God. This is the presence of Holy Spirit. It's the presence of peace. You're breathing it in with each breath. Be peace. Be love. Be joy. Make life fun. Make life enchanting and interesting. Stop fighting against it. I'm your brother. I'm here in love and in peace with you, now and always. Thank you.
This is a wonderful song called Love is the Only River. And I look forward to singing it lots here at Unity. And when we get into the sanctuary, having you sing it with me too, because we'll have the words up on the screen. So wherever you are, if you catch the melody and the words, I hope you'll sing with me too.
We are one love, one race. We all come from the same place. We all live in this world together. It doesn't matter who's right. It doesn't matter who's wrong. We have to get along much better. Show each other more respect, then maybe we can connect and stop taking all these things for granted. You think that you're all alone, but we share the same home. Let's join together and save the planet. If you love the world, it'll love you back. No matter who you are, no matter where you're at. If you love the world, it'll love you back. No matter who you are, no matter where you're at. Love is the only river holding the world together. Love is the only river. We're all in this together. We are the ones who can change. We are one and the same. We are the ones who can turn the tide. Doesn't matter who we are, 'cause hand in hand we'll go far. Let's get together and show our pride. And if we all do our part, a new era can start. Never forget, you're not alone. We're taking the world by storm. We're proud of how we were born. One love is all you need. If you love the world, it'll love you back. No matter who you are, no matter where you're at. If you love the world, it'll love you back. No matter who you are, no matter where you're at. Love is the only river holding the world together. Love is the only river. We're all in this together. Peace and unity between you and me. It's all we ever need. It's it's all we'll ever need. Peace and unity between you and me, it's all we'll ever need. It's all we'll ever need. Peace and unity between you and me, it's all we'll ever need. It's all we'll ever need.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you. You know, on Wednesday nights, we have a class, and the class is toward world peace. The class is toward bringing all of the power that we have inside of us forward. And the way that happens is through my book, Romancing the Soul. There's a triangle process in this book that has changed the lives of many, many thousands of people in multiple cultures around the world. And it works because it takes all the scattered energies and the scattered ideas, plans, goals, things that need to be done, things that could be done, things that we wish were done. It takes them all and puts them in an order so that they fit, so that number one helps number two become real, and number two helps number three. And it all rolls together so beautifully and so simply. So if you want to make your life work and you want to be able to reach your goals and reach your dreams, then come and join us with this class. This same class is being taught for thousands of dollars in places around the world. Here, it's for a donation. 6:30 to 8 o'clock on Wednesday evenings. Buy the book, Romancing the Soul. That's our text. And come and join us at 6:30 on this Wednesday evening. I think you'll be glad you did. Thank you.
Please join us next Sunday for our grand reopening on the first day of spring with Reverend Bob. It's happening. Next Sunday, Reverend Bob and our musicians will be in person with you at Unity of Vancouver at 5840 Oak Street. Finally, we will be together again. And we know some of you may not be comfortable meeting in groups yet, so rest assured that these services and our classes will continue being broadcast on Zoom and YouTube every week. Today's prayer chaplains are Melba Burns, Luciana Velvey, and Jeannie Bell Irving. If you would like a few minutes with a trained prayer chaplain, I'll show you how in just a couple of minutes.
Now let's have the prayer for protection. We say this prayer every Sunday because we carry it with us through our hearts in peace. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us, and the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Namaste.
Oh, thank you, Bob. Thank you, everyone. We've had a beautiful gathering this morning. And next Sunday, a big invitation. See the doors open wide, sunlight flying through those doors, laughter and smiles. You can wear your mask if you want to. If you don't want to, it sounds like we don't have to anymore, which is really interesting. We get to actually see our faces again, which is wonderful. So, yeah, it's going to be beautiful. And there's so much going on at Unity. There's going to be places for you to bring your creative ideas to do things. Small groups. Where's the small group that you want to be to create something? So this is a creative space, a creative place for you to come and get nourishment each Sunday and to feel welcome. And it's going to be beautiful. Let's sing the peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant everyone. See you